Well, you had that situation where your little brother got killed.
Yeah, facts. That changed me.
Now, your little brother wasn't in the streets at all.
At all, period. I got 3 little brothers. He was the only one.
This is Black Youngsta, a rapper from South Memphis who survived getting shot 3 times, grew up in a house where there was nothing to eat, and clawed his way out of one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. But none of that prepared him for what he would experience. Between 2016 and 2023, 3 of his brothers were killed by gunfire, one after another, and not one of those cases ended the way it should have. The hardest part is that at least 2 of those brothers were not even in the streets. They were just living their lives. So how does a man keep losing the people he loves most, no matter how hard he works to protect them? To really understand what happened to this family, you have to start from the very beginning, because the story of how Black Youngsta grew up explains everything that came after it. He was born on April 8, 1990 in Memphis, Tennessee, and he grew up on McMillan Street in South Memphis. His mother was dealing with addiction and could not take care of her children, and his father was not in the picture at all. So his grandparents, Miss Ida and Mr. Harold Benson, took all the kids in and did their best on whatever little money they had coming in from Social Security checks. The family did not have enough food most of the time. This was not the kind of struggling where you have to eat the same thing every night. This was children going to bed with nothing in their stomachs. Black Youngsta has talked about this in interviews, and the details he shares are not easy to hear.
I used to work at a corn store, right? In my neighborhood, hood ratchet, fucked up. My grandma 1-bedroom house. I had 3 little brothers and shit. So like I worked in the store, but I was young, so they come just give me I wasn't no real job, but they still slaving the shit out. Made me clean the floor, do the dishes, stock the drinks, line them up and shit. But I was working at the store. They thought I wasn't getting paid. I probably got $10 there, 2-3 days. But I really did it for food, cause we didn't have nothing to eat. Me and my little brothers.
He came up with a system where he would have someone call the store and place a fake food order right before closing time. When nobody showed up to collect it, the staff would offer him the leftovers so the food would not go to waste. The whole time, they had no idea that the fake order was his.
But like every night I have somebody call the store, order food, like, man, what do I want? Chili cheese fries, hamburgers and everything. But I know it was a false call for me and my brothers to eat. So I know at the end of the night they're gonna be like, huh, you want the leftovers? They ain't come get it. So you want the food? I be like, hell yeah, but they don't even know I already had people to call. Sometimes you be in the bathroom calling. I want to order 3 cheeseburgers, this right here, woo, and they late on the night, don't nobody come get the food. They be looking like, damn, don't nobody come get this, so you can go and take it with you. But the whole time he was playing for me to do it.
Once he got a little older, around 12 or 13, he moved into the drug game and started selling crack cocaine. He's been open about the fact that he was selling to people in his own circle, including family members. He was also known for finessing, which basically means selling fake or watered-down products, and that lifestyle came with all the expected problems. There were shootouts, arrests, and short trips to jail, but he would bond out and go right back to it because there was nothing else in front of him. He picked up multiple charges for drugs and guns before anyone outside of Memphis had ever heard his name. The first time he got shot at, he was around 8 or 9 years old after him and his boys jumped an older man in the neighborhood who came back later with an AK. But he kept moving and never really thought much of it back then.
Cause we used to be deep jumping on niggas and shit. So I think the first time we would jump the old head nigga, he was in the hood, he was drunk. That's when we ain't know about folks getting drunk talking shit. So he was drunk talking out, he was talking plenty of shit. And man, I fired on his ass. Man, we beat the shit out of his ass after we whooped him. He come right back through with the AK. He everybody just running, but I never took it serious. All my life I got shot at. I just never took me getting shot at too serious until I got like older, like 15, 16. I was like, oh, these niggas trying to kill a nigga. They trying to take me out. You hear me? So I'm like, oh, man, can't go like that.
Then around 2012 or 2013, his luck ran out. He was on his own block when people from a rival neighborhood came through shooting. He got hit 3 times, twice in the leg and once in the arm, and his first reaction was not to call an ambulance, but to call a friend and ask them to bring a gun so he could go hit back.
So what was the situation, or were you getting shot that one time?
Shit, been on the block, wrong place, wrong time. Hey, look, look, you hear me? Hey, I ain't have my gun on me. You hear me? You know? So, you know, like where I come from, the ops gonna ride through and hit anyway. Just like they can't stand on their block, we stand on our block. If they on their block, we pulling through hitting. If we on our block, they gonna pull through hit. So like with this situation, I got shot off some shit I don't even know nothing about right now to this day. It could have been one of my niggas did some shit. It could have been my little brother. It could have been just a nigga from our hood. You know how the hood's been to it. So like probably it was just an op from another hood, come through our hood, anything on the block, he hitting it. And boom, come through hitting, and I got hit. You know what I'm saying?
Where in the body did you get hit?
I got shot in my leg, and I got shot in my arm. I got shot 2 times in my leg.
So you knew you weren't gonna die from the gunshot wounds.
Man, I ain't even care about dying. Like that wasn't even my issue. My issue was bring me a chopper, bruh. The first phone call I made was bring me a chopper, bruh. I ain't called the ambulance, I ain't called the police or nothing. Somebody else called the police. Bruh, bring me a chopper. While the police on the way, I got a chop on the way. We figure whatever, we going right way through their hood and hit, you know what I'm saying? Same way I got hit, they figure hit. So they had that shit basically went, you know, like, damn, I think I was more, I ain't even know I got shot. I'm running like everybody else running. Everybody getting hit, so we just running. I just ended up getting shot.
Through all of that, he picked up rapping. He had been doing it since he was young, but music was always in the background while the streets took up most of his attention. In 2012, he threw block parties in South Memphis, some of them in honor of a friend who had been murdered, and those events made him a local name before any of his music was widely known. His first mixtape, Fast Bricks, dropped that same year, and things slowly started to move in the right direction. And then 2016 came and took everything sideways. His younger brother, Ronnie Benson, who people called Ronnie B, was shot and killed in Memphis. The exact date has never been confirmed in any public record, but tributes from Black started showing up around mid-August of that year, with the most detailed one coming in November. No arrest was ever made, no suspect was ever publicly named, and the case got almost no coverage in the news. This is partly because Memphis had recorded 200 homicides that year, and in South Memphis, most of those victims were just names on a list that the rest of the world scrolled past. What made Ronnie's murder so hard to carry out was that Black Youngsta had spent years making sure his little brother stayed away from exactly this kind of ending.
Now, your little brother wasn't in the streets at all.
At all, period. I got 3 little brothers. He was the only one, didn't want to be a part of the streets. I kept him in school, bought him new cars and shit. I just kept him in school, kept him out the way so he can focus on school. And I was, you know, somebody ended up killing him.
Was it an accident or was it on?
Nah, it was on purpose. Somebody killed him on purpose. We just, you know how this shit go. Niggas be hating, niggas be player hating. Young nigga getting money out the way, and you know you probably would have thought he was green because he's so smart and he just stay at school. That's how people, you know, that's what these niggas do nowadays. They kill the good people. You know, they go kill good people. They don't kill the niggas that really deserve killing. They go get the good people. And I'm the type of person, if I'm in tour with you, I ain't finna, and your folks over here, I ain't finna go over here just try to, you know, hit your folks for no reason if I ain't did nothing. Now, if you got your little nephew, he wanna play tough, I'm gonna come through, I'm gonna shoot him in the asshole. I'm gonna shoot him, tap him right on the little ass, you hear me? Yeah, for real, but other than that, like, you don't take no good person out. So he was a good one, bro. And it happened like that. I did so much shit and got away with so much shit, it ain't fall on me. It fell on my little brother. Not saying that shit I did, that somebody came and did it for him because of me. It happened because of just hate.
In November of 2016, Black Youngsta put up a birthday post on Facebook for Ronnie, and what he wrote in that post is some of the most honest and painful grief you will ever read from a public figure. The line that stays with you is this one. "I miss you so much, lil' brother. I swear to God, when you died, I thought about killing myself, no lie. Sometimes I just wish God would have took me and not you." He also wrote that he had changed his life around, that he was done robbing and selling dope and had gotten his other 2 baby brothers out of the streets. 2 brothers were still standing, and he was going to make sure it stayed that way.
Man, I got the streets. Like, since my little brother died, bro, I ain't been the same, bro. Like, like my mind went from, don't get me wrong, I got a good heart, bro. I gotta fuck with you for me to have a good heart. Like, if I fuck with you, I'm gonna show you love. I'm the type of person you can call. I'm gonna be there every time. As a partner, we just cool, we friends. If this is my bitch, anything, you feel what I'm saying? But it's just like, when he died, man, it went from, I had feelings. But when my little brother died, I just was like, fuck everybody. I was like, man, I'm to my bro, real shit, bro. Like, since my little brother been dead, I never went to his grave site. I paid for the whole funeral. I paid for everything. I never went saw him. I never saw him in his casket. I never saw him I never went to his grave site. I sent nigga flowers. I make sure his shit look neat at all times. I never went to it, bro, because it's just something it's something I gotta wake up and just one day like I really do it. You feel what I'm saying? But he changed me, bro, cause when I lost him, I just was like, I gotta get out the streets. But I was getting out the street, but I was like, I got too much money. Let me go and get out the way right now while I can escape this shit and go on so I can, cause I won't worry about me. I'm cool. I'm going with whoever. I be worried about my folks. I'm like, man, my other little brothers out here, I'm like, damn. So I just live for my folks that I love, bro. And man, this shit changed me, man, cause I was like, fuck it. And I was like, fuck everybody. I don't care who die. You know what I'm saying? When I lost him, anybody can die. When I lost him, I lost everything, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100.
He took all of that pain to the studio. He had almost given up on a mixtape he had already paid for, but something pushed him back in. He finished it and released a song called Heavy, and that record caught the attention of Yo Gotti, who signed him to Collective Music Group in 2015.
I look up, Gotti already signed me? Everybody already signed me. I just signed with Gotti because I knew he come from where I come from. So I'm like, man, I really be around nigga. I know, come from the city. I know third grade about this shit. Then go sign with somebody that don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? I know he know my uncles or something. So it's gonna be some type of shit we can work out. He gonna have a little love for a nigga. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I felt. I can't go nowhere where I don't know these folks. Don't none of my folks know them. Nah, gotta know my whole damn one half of my family. So I'm like, I know he gonna, even if this shit don't work out, we still gonna be cool.
He had made it out and kept his promise to Ronnie, but Memphis was not done with this family. Heavy Camp TD, who also went by Heavy Champ TD, was Black Youngster's older brother and one of the artists signed to Black's own Heavy Camp Records label, the imprint he had built under CMG. Unlike Ronnie B, who stayed completely away from the music world, Heavy Camp TD was building something of his own, following his younger brother's footsteps into rap while trying to carve out his own name. In December of 2018, he released an album called Patience, a 10-track project available on all streaming platforms. He had also put out a single called We Get a Bag earlier that year and was actively posting music promo on Instagram right around when the album came out. People who paid attention said Heavy Camp TD genuinely had something in the booth, that there was real talent there. He was building momentum, and for the first time, it looked like the Benson family might actually have two brothers making it in the music industry. He never got to find out. On June 9, 2019, Heavy Camp TD was shot and killed in Miami, Florida. And right there is where the public record basically stops, because what followed was almost total silence. Nobody said whether it was a targeted hit, a robbery that went wrong, or something random. No witnesses were named in any report, nor was any surveillance footage ever mentioned publicly. The original story from Urban Islands, published June 11, 2019, confirmed he was Black Youngster's brother and said he had been gunned down in a Miami shooting, and that was essentially the full extent of what anyone outside the family ever knew. As far as the police investigation goes, the Miami-Dade Police Department never put out a press release about this case. The case disappeared into the same silence that swallows thousands of homicides every year in cities where the victims are not famous enough to make the news stay interesting. What is also worth noting is how differently Black Youngster responded to this loss compared to when Ronnie died. After Ronnie, he wrote a long, detailed post on Facebook that was full of grief and love and detail. When Heavy Camp TD was killed, he mourned quietly. Some sources claimed that after this killing, Black Youngster made changes to his security arrangements because he was starting to believe his family was being targeted. Whether that fear pointed at one specific person or was just the general weight of the pattern building around him, nobody said out loud. The public image of Black Youngster during this period was still largely built around the loud, show-stopping persona that had made him famous. The money on the bed on Instagram, the jewelry stacked up, the energy that made him impossible to ignore.
What you got?
Now, I know you guys can't see what's going on.
I got you.
Black youngster just pulled out
see this right here.
a
This
bunch of
200.
money, $200,000, and a money counter.
I'm gonna let y'all run through this with me. I broke it from getting money.
All right.
Oh my God.
He's pulling out his cash counter.
When you get some of the money, you gonna break it.
All right.
You know how they go.
Your guy is like this guy right here.
Yeah,
I did this when I was.
This the auto hustle though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's how we do it.
All right, I'm watching you.
See that? You feel me?
Hey.
Oh.
If it falls on the floor, we keep
Yeah,
it.
if it falls on the floor, the strippers keep it.
Hold on.
The strippers.
The strippers keep it.
Oh.
All right.
Goodness gracious. Oh, you ain't gotta count it all. We believe you.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm
I
positive.
want to make sure it's there. Make sure
Okay, it says $9.
He said keep going. It's
I just wanna make
$9.
sure. I just wanna make sure now.
Where's the
Oh,
bill
right
tester?
to
We got
it.
the bill tester in here. Make sure they real.
Oh, that's all.
It's all
What
real.
the 10?
Yeah, that 10 right there.
Oh my gosh.
That's a 10 right there.
Somebody pass me my bag.
You show your money to show like you really come from where you come from and you made it
Yeah, I
that far?
made it, yeah. Cause like, a lot of people don't understand, like, I smiled every day because it was a time I couldn't smile. Like, I was struggling, you know, going through shit, like.
He has always been very clear that the joy is real because the pain was real too. But here's the thing about making it out of a place like South Memphis. Making it out for yourself does not mean your family makes it with you. Heavy Camp TD's music is still on Spotify today, and after his death, Black Youngster kept going, working, and releasing music and building Heavy Camp Records. But the version of him that came out of 2 losses in 3 years was carrying something heavier than anything he had carried before. And there was still one more brother left, the youngest one, Tommanuel, and Memphis was not finished. Tommanuel was born on April 12, 1996, which made him 27 years old at the time of his death. But unlike Black and Heavy Camp TD, who went deep into the streets before finding music and pursued rap, Tommanuel built a completely private life. He had no criminal record that shows up in any public documents or any social media presence anyone has ever found. He was engaged to a woman named lled, who has spoken about him publicly since his death and who has been very deliberate about making sure people understand who he really was. She described him as the backbone of their family and a neighborhood hero in South Memphis, and pushed back directly against any attempt to reduce him to just being Black Youngster's little brother. He had a son who also spoke about his father in the same interview. The boy said, "I always loved my dad. Anytime anything happened, he was there to protect me. I loved him a lot. If I had anything wrong, I'd call him and he'd come save the day." On the morning of August 18, 2023, he was on the phone with Mykesha when he told her he was going to stop at the store real quick. She never heard from him again after that call. At around 9:30 that morning, Tommanuel was shot and killed at the BP gas station at 583 South Parkway East in South Memphis.
Early morning shooting at the BP on South Parkway leaves one man dead. They still got his car out here, man. Check on your people, the hood out here. Blackwood knew.
Early news reports described it as a possible drive-by, but that turned out to be wrong. What actually happened came out later in the court affidavit, and the details are cold. According to the affidavit filed with Shelby County Court, witnesses saw Tommanuel get into an argument with a man at the gas station. At some point during that argument, Tommanuel turned away. The other man pulled out a handgun and shot him in the back of the head. He then turned the gun toward a car that was parked nearby and fired multiple times, hitting a woman named F. Abston in her back and left leg, while also shooting at a man named J. Calhoun who was sitting in that same car. Tommanuel Benson was pronounced dead at the scene. lled believes she knows what the argument was about. She told WREG that she thinks Tommanuel noticed the other man trying to steal her truck and confronted him about it. She has also been vocal about shutting down any online speculation trying to connect Tommanuel's death to Black Youngster's history with Young Dolph or any other rap-related beef. Her words on that were direct. "This situation has nothing to do with that. I knew that the blogs were going to do that. We can end all that. None of his brother's deaths had anything to do with Young Dolph's situation." 2 days after the shooting, Black Youngster posted to his Instagram stories, and what he wrote was not a polished tribute. It was raw grief in real time, the kind of thing you post when you have already been through this twice before and something inside you is just done holding it together neatly. I love you, baby brother. Rest up. I'm going to make the world pay. I swear to God, nobody is safe. Standing over everybody. Everybody. I'm ready for whatever come with this. It's okay. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm not going to feel sorry for nobody. Only God knows. Life will never be the same, but God got me. I'm the strongest man in the world. Memphis police opened the investigation and put out a $5,000 reward for information. They identified the suspect as Randy Darnell Ewing Jr., a 28-year-old Memphis man, and released a description and wanted poster asking for the public's help. The search for Ewing went on for months before federal authorities stepped in. On August 31, 2023, the U.S. Marshals Two Rivers Violent Fugitive Task Force officially adopted the case alongside Memphis police and Shelby County deputies. Then, on February 13, 2024, they located Ewing on Creighton Avenue. Although he tried to run, a canine unit named Marco caught him. He was armed with a handgun when they took him down, and he was taken to the hospital before being booked into Shelby County Jail.
A Memphis man wanted for murder is finally behind bars tonight after being captured by U.S. Marshals. 28-year-old Randy Ewing was taken into custody in Parkway Village last night after he was spotted by U.S. Marshals and the MPD fugitive team in the area of Creighton Avenue. He was wanted on second-degree murder charges for the shooting in August of Tommanuel Benson, the brother of Memphis rapper Black Youngster. Ewing will be in court tomorrow for his arraignment.
The charges against him were serious. Second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder, using a firearm during a felony, a violation of his sex offender registration, and additional weapons charges. It came out during the investigation that Ewing had a prior conviction from 2014 for statutory intimate violation. He was on the sex offender registry in the first place, and he had failed to keep his registration updated as required by law. His bond was set for $1 million.
Your bond's $1 million on that call.
28-year-old Randy Ewing sinks into his seat upon hearing he has a $1 million bond in connection to the killing of Tommanuel Benson.
You've also been charged with an A felony, second-degree murder. That carries 15 to 60 years if you are convicted.
Benson was gunned down outside of a BP gas station on South Parkway East last August. Before the shooting, court documents say Benson and Ewing were seen arguing. Once Benson turned away, Ewing allegedly shot Benson in the back of the head and then fired shots into a vehicle. Another man was also shot, but survived. Law enforcement spent months tracking Ewing down, even offering a $5,000 reward. 6 months later, officers had a break in the case. U.S. Marshals found Ewing walking on Creighton Avenue. Many people we spoke to say they had seen Ewing throughout the neighborhood, but had no idea he was a wanted man. Court documents say Ewing attempted to run into this home. After multiple warnings, officer released a canine, and Ewing was taken into custody after being treated at a hospital for a bite to his leg. He was also reportedly found with a stolen gun.
I look at all these fools that's around here, and they just begging to go to jail. Don't care.
Ewing faces a slew of old and new charges, including second-degree murder, attempted murder, theft, evading arrest, and being a convicted felon in possession of a handgun.
For a moment, it actually looked like this family was finally going to get some kind of justice, but Memphis had one more thing to take away.
Well, the man accused of killing the brother of Memphis rapper Black Youngster has died. Randy Ewing Jr. faced several charges, including voluntary manslaughter and being a felon in possession of a handgun. He was out on bond when he died yesterday, but the cause of his death remains a mystery tonight. Black Youngster's brother, Tommanuel Benson, was shot to death in August of 2023. Police caught up with Ewing this past February.
On May 23, 2024, while he was out on bond, Randy Darnell Ewing Jr. was killed. Memphis police opened a homicide investigation into his death but released no details about what happened or who was responsible. Because Ewing died before the case ever went to trial, the murder charges against him in Tommanuel's case were dropped under a legal rule called abatement by death. This basically means when the accused person dies before trial, the case dies with them. The Shelby County Court officially closed the case on September 16, 2024, and the family never got a trial, a verdict, or closure that comes from watching someone actually answer for what they did in a court of law. That is the story of all three brothers. With Ronnie B killed in Memphis in 2016 and no arrest ever made, Heavy Camp TD killed in Miami in 2019 and no suspects ever named, and Tommanuel Benson killed in Memphis on August 18, 2023, with the only suspect dead before a single day in court. Every single case closed without real accountability, which is unfortunately not unusual in a city where 2023 produced 351 homicides, the highest number in Memphis history, with a firearm killing rate more than 4 times the national average. Black Youngsta has since turned the grief into music the same way he always has. He released an album called Black Sheep 2 in September of 2023, weeks after Tommanuel died, and the weight of that loss is all over it. He also released a track called Long Live that speaks to Ronnie B and Heavy Camp TD by name. They killed my hitter, they killed my brother, they killed my woadie. Long live Ronnie B, long live TD, the streets so dirty, I lost 2 blood brothers to this. And in Dear Grandma off his 2022 album For Life, he spoke directly to Miss Ida about everything she had survived alongside him. Dear Grandma, I love you so much. You was with me when nobody was with me. My grandma was my mama and my mama was my daddy. I lost 2 blood brothers to this. He has still never visited Ronnie's grave. He paid for the whole funeral and sent flowers every time, but he has said in interviews that he's just not ready to stand at that grave yet.
Like, since my little brother been dead, I never went to his grave site. I paid for the whole funeral. I paid for everything. I never went saw him. I never saw him in his casket. I never saw him I never went to his grave site. I sent flowers. I made sure his shit looked neat at all times. I never went to it, bro, because it's just something it's something I gotta wake up and just one day like I really do it. You feel what I'm saying?
There's something in that detail that says more than any speech could. 3 brothers gone, and the block is still doing what the block has always done. What do you think about these deaths? Do you think the brothers were targeted because of Black Youngsta? Let me know in the comments section. Also, click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this. See you in the next one.